Phoenicians, uh, Jesus Christ, and the Vikings. We're gonna talk about all these people and their connection to the Irish people and the connection to the ongoing war in the Holy Land. We're gonna talk about all this stuff. I'm gonna show you links, and we're gonna see what's going on in the Holy Land. I have pictures, spaceship of King Anu, as well from yesterday at night. I got some pictures, but let's start uh, looking at Jesus Christ and his connection to the Vikings, also called to Scandinavian people. And then we're gonna check the connection between the Phoenicians and the discovery of America, and yeah, and how stuff is like why it is this war is very very important to understand um, the background and stuff like that. So we begin. We're gonna look at this one. If you start searching. I'm watching this video. It is called Jesus have could have been Phoenician, because again we know that so this one Jesus could have been Phoenician. So we have this video, and we have here, if you put like this give like Phoenician discovered America. We got a lot of you see here like a lot of Phoenicians discovered America. We have this one like they have found stuff in America, and this stuff was brought from Phoenicia, but it is like they have they found like coins, and you see this Phoenician ships is like the Scandinavian ships, the Viking ships. The Vikings came later, but before the Vikings, older people, Phoenicia, they had made these ships, and they have the Vikings. They made same ships, and then we have also the language, the letters. The Viking letters is looking similar to the Phoenician. And we know even the Hebrew. So you see here, we have a map here. That's a map by the Phoenicians. You see, and here you see Atlantic. We talked about Atlantic. The empire was ruled by Enki, and his son Marduk. He destroyed it, and it went to the sea. It sank because Marduk he didn't like his father having this kingdom. So yeah, so this is America. We see where's the Atlantic. We see here the Atlantic. I'm gonna show the links. Here you see the letters of the Vikings. This is like Phoenician actually. So we have a connection, and then we see here. This is the Viking. This is the Phoenician. You see the ships, and then you have this one. So this is the coin. You see the horse here on the coin. They have found a map, and this map showing where Atlantis was. Atlantic was outside the Spain, between Spain and the sea to the Portugal, and then we see Africa, and then we see the Mediterranean. This is you see here the Mediterranean. This is like here Turkey, and so this is the Asia. They didn't discover yet Europe. They discovered Southern Europe, like Italy, Spain, and we see Cyprus, and we see the island near Italy, Crete. We see also part of Africa. So this is was what they knew about. They went traveling with ships across the Atlantic. And there you see here that they had this knowledge about this map, and they went around with ships and stuff, and then they discovered America. So the Phoenician is the Canaanites in Africa, you see here, and Phoenician Canaan in Europa. So they went to Europa, using the Phoenicians, and this is we see here the map uh, where they were active in traveling around. You see all this blue line. They went to Corsica, Sardinia, and this is their ships. This is their ships, and this is the ships. You see, they have advanced ships, and yeah, we will talk about these people, some of their history, because we're gonna make investigate if Jesus Christ was a Phoenician. That means he was Lebanese, not Jewish, like they say. So all this stuff they found in America, it is connected to Phoenician. So like the way they do stuff, the way they build stuff, and here what they look like, a Phoenician, and this is all these stones from Crete. They have this. They found all this stuff, and this stuff is Phoenician stuff. Found it in North America, see North America and Mexico. All this stuff identical. It is written identical. It's very interesting, and nobody talk about this subject. So we can run this one fast. So here we're saying the connection between the Phoenician and the Canaanites, and we have the connection to the Olmecs. We know that Olmecs are Anunnaki actually, and we talk about the Ainu people in America discovered USA. So this ships, you see these ships, Phoenician ships, and you see even sword in Canada. So this stuff is found also in Tunisia, and it is very strange that it ended in America unless somebody has traveled so far. And that time, the Phoenician, it was not known that you could travel so far away because they didn't have this advanced technology we have today. But here we see the map. They went to America when they passed across Spain, Portugal, and they went to America and discovered America before Columbus. Before Columbus, and of course they are Canaanite people. Canaanite, and they have the Canaanites. They have been living with near the Hebrews in Palestine, Mexico, called the Israel because of the Hebrews. Jacob it was called Israel, and the Hebrews and the Phoenicians they have a lot of stories in common. They have same language, almost same letters. The Hebrew letters are Phoenician in origin, and we have the Phoenician people. They discovered all this the color red, and and they made the clothes for a lot of people from other empires. Also, they mentioned in Lebanon the cedar tree, and they have this tree, some kind of tree they exported to Egypt and to build the temple and Solomon temple. Yeah, this temple they are talking about, the third temple, it was built from the tree, from the cedar tree, from the holy forest mentioned in the Sumerians. Uh, and there's a beast who protect the forest, and all these pictures showing the Anunnaki now, and all the you see here Ashira worshipped also the worship of Ashira, and they are trying to explain the connection. So yeah, here you have it, Phoenician. So we have this one also, the connection to the Vikings, ancient Phoenician forefathers of Vikings. You see, the Vikings Germanic Halo group. It has its roots in the Halo group G of the ancient Phoenicians. Compare Phoenicians alphabet. Compare. So here, compare. Compare Phoenician alphabet from which European alphabet is derived, derived to Nordic runes. You see here the original. You see here the letters. You see to the right. This is to the right is Vikings, and to the left is Phoenician. See how similar? Yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of similarity, like in this one, and these two, or like this one. This is very famous letter in the Vikings. So this is very similar to this letter. And then they are like here we have 7, 14, 21. Here we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities actually. Sorry. So the boats also the similar. So this is to the left is Phoenician, and to the right is Vikings. You see the similarity, people is almost the same. And so we have, if you Google it, you'll find a lot of Phoenician ancestors. Are the Phoenicians ancestor of the Vikings? There's compelling evidence that they are. The south of Spain is still inhabited by the descendants of the Phoenicians. The culture is still different from the rest of Spain. You see, are Vikings descent of the Phoenicians? The Vikings and the Phoenicians are known as the best sailor of respective eras. Are the Phoenicians the ancestor of the Vikings? There is compelling evidence that they are. We don't have this one now because I want to uh, see here. Vikings were all Scandinavian. Ancient DNA study shows Europe was black Phoenician, Kush woman, and yes, the Phoenicians were Vikings. What do you think the dragon boats came from? This one also. Vikings were fearsome blonde-haired warriors from Scandinavia who used longboats to carry out raids across Europe in brief but bloody rhyme to terror. But the reality is much more complex according to the analysis of genomes of 442 ancient humans from archaeological sites in Scandinavia, the United Kingdom, Ireland, Iceland, Greenland, Estonia, Ukraine, Poland, and other Eastern European countries. Is the Vikings. The word Viking comes from the Scandinavian term Vikinger, meaning private, meaning pirate, pirate, raid. The Viking Age generally refers to a period from 800 after Christ, a few years, the earliest recorded raid until the 1050s, a few years before the Norman conquest of England in 160. The Viking changed the political genetic course of Europe and beyond. So we talked about the Vikings and their connection to the Danish people and the Russian people. So the Vikings are the ancestor of the Russian people. And this is the Danish people. They are ancestor of the Russian people, and the Swedes are ancestor of the Danish. Also, you're gonna check this out. Yeah, we're gonna check this one. I'm gonna show it to you. So this thread is very nice to read. Also, I'm gonna recommend this one. So you have some knowledge. Abraham, you know that Abraham is supposed to be Hebrew, but he was a Sumerian. So when he went, this thread I was uh, participating in. This is you write this one, then you write this, or you write this one first, and then you write this one. You get this information about Abraham, the father of the sky god, sky religion. Sorry, and that connection to the Ainu people. The Ainu people, we talked about the Ainu people. But here we have this link. I want to show you the connection between the Russians, the German, like German, Scandinavian, Russian, Danish people, Irish people, even all these people, and the Phoenician, the connection to the Scythians and to the Sumerian through the so-called they traveled to the Russia and even through they went to the Japan and to South America. Then they passed all these areas. We know that Canaan is the word from like Canaanu, from King Canaan, and of course the Ainu people, the Phoenicians, and the Canaanites. You can check the connection here. I'm gonna show the links. So in Proto Norse, Anu means ancestor. This is Nordic names. Nordic names, Anu. Anu, ancestor. So this is a Norwegian name. If you say Anu to Norwegian, ancestor, grand grandfather, great grandfather, ancestor. No, ancestor. So this is Norwegian. So yeah, we're gonna carry on. I'm gonna show it. So it's very important. I have linked this thread many times on my channel, like on my videos I made, but never talked about it like I'm doing today. I was trying to do it like when I have time, and this 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 information, it's not very like popular. It is not widely known. So here we have Uranus, how to pray to Uranus, the Orphic hymn to Uranus, Uranus, sky or heavens, the fumigation from frankincense. Great heaven, who mighty frame, no respite knows, Father of all, from whom the world arose, here, bounteous parent, source and end of all, forever willing round this earthly ball, abode of gods, whose guardian power surrounds the internal world with ever during bounds, whose ample bosom and encircling folds the dire necessity of nature holds, etherical, earthly, whose all various frame, azure and full of forms, no power can tame, all seeing heaven, progenitor of time, forever blessed deity sublime propitious on a never mystic shine, and crown his wish with a life divine. So this is a prayer for Uranus. So this is Anu also. Uranus. So yeah, this is yeah. So we're gonna check this one, and then I'm gonna move pictures stuff. So even here in this thread, you see a lot of videos. So it's nice knowledge actually, and we have Anu in the Irish Celtic goddess Anna or Anu, Danu, Dannan, the mother goddess Danu, Anu, Anna, Annan. So a divine male consort of Anna, Anu, and Danu or Belinos, Baal. So Baal was married to Ashir. So this story from the Canaanite religion Trinity. You have El and Ashira and Baal. So Baal is married with Ashira. Ashira sometimes the daughter of El, sometimes the wife of El. This is the same story, and this origin from the Celtics, from the Mesopotamian and the Canaanite Trinity. So this is a Trinity. You see here, Anna, Anu, or Danu, or Annan was a goddess. She was she was married to Baal, Belenos, sun god Baal, Baali. The early Christians transferred the goddess Anu and Anna to Saint Anne, for example, in modern day Brittany, France, where she was regarded as the mother goddess as well as the goddess for fountains and wells. So that's why the grandmother of Jesus Christ, Anne, the mother of Virgin Mary, also was Anunnaki. We talked about this one before. So we have Virgin Mary, Anunnaki, and her mother also Anunnaki, and Jesus Christ is this Anunnaki bloodline, and because of his grandmother. But of course, now talking Anunnaki, uh, this is like angelic. Now we're talking about the physical, like the spiritual, not the spiritual, the bloodline of Phoenicians. So you see the difference because the spirit, um, the Son of Man, we gonna Anunnaki like from Nibiru, from Hibiru, the Hebrews, the Nibirians and the Hebrew. So this Son of Man, because of his mother and his mother, and because of her mother, and then we have this Son of Man from the angelic. The early Christians transferred goddess Anu, Anna to Saint Anne. But now we are not talking about the spiritual. I'm talking about the physical. The early, was regarded mother goddess for. We talked about this. Danu was worshipped in the. So her real name is Danu, and she got the river Danube. You see in the Central Europe river where a Celtic culture flourished during the Iron Age. The river Danube is named after goddess Anu. So that's why we have a worship of Anu in Ireland as well in Europe. So we have Anu in Venezuela, Anu people in Venezuela. We have Anu people in South America. So this one I was want to show you. So here we read this. So Kali, like all Ubaid, the guys before the Egyptians, was a flesh and blood king. She, Kalima or Kalimar, was the daughter of Lilith. Talked about Lilith before, and Samuel. Samael is Enki. Samael is Enki. And Lilith was a daughter. No, Kalimat or Kali in this Hindu goddess was actually daughter of Lilith and Samael. Lilith had this conflict with Adam, and he cursed her, and yeah, it went bad, and he messed up. It was wife of Enlil, and Enlil his uncle, his uncle. So he slept. He wanted to sleep, or he wanted to rape. Talked about this subject before. We had some. He wanted to get her to do whatever he wanted, but she refused. So he cursed her, and then Adam went up to heaven to explain why he did so against his uncle, not uncle his father. In the Sumerian is Enki, not God. Like Adam is Enki, from Enki, and his uncle Enlil was married with Lilith, the south wind. So he cursed the south wind, broke her wing. And then he was to go to heaven to speak to the Most High King Anu about explaining why he did like this. But he refused to eat of food of life or drink the water of life. So that's why humans they didn't get to live forever, because Adam was always not trying to listen to anybody else, only Enki. So Enki Samael has said to Adam, "Don't eat from the food of life offered by King Anu on Nibiru," and he didn't drink. And when King Anu asked Adamu, Adapa, why you didn't eat Adapa? He said, because Enki, my master, he told me not to eat. He said, if I would eaten, I would have died. The same story. The serpent, he said, eat. And Eve, she ate, but Adam, he ate as well. But that was not enough because they should have eaten, but they didn't. Or he, Adam, Adapa, he did not eat because he was afraid for Enki. So Enki stole this gift offered by God to humans. That's why we die. So this is the story. Even in the Bible, they call Enki the serpent because they had two serpents in the Eden: wise serpent, Ninigzida, Jesus Christ, and Enki, who did this to Eve and stuff like that, and to Adam. He did this to us. That's why we die, people. And there's people who worship this guy, Enki. He has a bloodline, yes, but we have this bloodline in us. And Jesus Christ bloodline is in us also, but we all have Jesus Christ blood in us, all humans. So we move on. This is the one I was showing, Sitchin, also known as Sich Saka Saka, Izukasi, Azukasai, Askuzai, Iranian people. The Aryans, you see here, the Sitchins are Aryans people, and they were Azukazi, Askuzai, Assyrian term, south of Caucasus, probably Sitchins. So this is where it's Ukraine today. That's why they have fighting because of this. The origin of the people of the Irish, the Scythians, to what are the Anu, who have immigrated first still to the lands of the north, described tribe of queens, kings, princes, and lords were not having for having druids of their own in Japan, North Islands. There lives shamanic tribe called the Ainu, whose early writing style has been identified as being Gaelic Ogam. So this is Irish. This is this language in Japan, just in Ireland. You can check this in Ireland music if you like this here, and they like if you can, maybe we can get something. Let's try this one. Gaelic. So this is the language. You see here the language of the Irish, Celtic, and I believe we have. So this is they see here Gaelic. You see here. So this is the language Gaelic. So this is Anya, and she's singing in this old ancient Irish language. So you're gonna check this out. So maybe this is not the language, but she singing about this people or language. So yeah, so now we go back here. So we are reading about this language in Ireland, and here we have this link. So this is the one you're gonna read to make the connection. The Tuata the noun, and this is bibliothèque bibliothèque play. This. So here we read that based on spelling to Tuata the Danann, some have suggested they have Irish 11 people derive their name from an Irish mother goddess named Dana. If they have talked about Danu in Irish goddess, if they have checked the earlier spelling, the Tuatha De Danu tribe of Anu, they have discovered that Sitchin Side were the sons and daughters of Anu and the obeyed gods and goddess. Understand? They make a connection with these people south of Caucasus with the Anu. So the Ubaid people they worship Anu and the goddess and the goddesses. Based on the spelling Tuatha De Danann, some have suggested that these Irish elven people derive their name from goddess Dana. So the Sicilians, Side were the sons and daughters of Anu, and the Scythians, early Proto-Aryan Ubaid root. The Scythians are Aryans, Persia, Iran, and Asia provided the people with the religious and social structures, spread the wisdom, overlordship, tribes, Britain, and Europe. This is the history of Europe, the history of European people, and the connection to the Phoenicians, and the Scythians, Aryans as the Danann settled in Ayr and Scotland, while in Wales they were known as the House of Denmark, or the House of Gwynedd. This house here, the line of Llewellyn princes, the Llewellyn. Sorry, I'm saying the name wrong. The saying the words wrong. While in Scandinavia, in the Danann, become the Danes or the Vikings. You see here, the Vikings connection produced a junior cousin line, the Swedes. So first it was the Danish, and the Danish they got the Swedish, and the Swedish they got the Russian, from which descended the Rutsi clan who founded Russia. In Denmark, the Sidi was represented as the Sidir, a class of seer or witch, who later separated from the Guti or Got, the Danish druids. And Sitchin Danan in Ayr, as the rest of Europe, were raised apart, a ruling caste with which, like the original race of the gods from whom they descended, they were further caste classification. In Denmark, these were later named the Jarl, Karl, Tral, Kas, while in Ireland, they were broadly speaking the Druids, the kings, the warrior smiths. In India, they're still defined as the Brahmins, the Kasatiras, and the Sudras. So this is the history of Europe people, and we make connection to the people of Aino folk, the Aino people, and the Scythians, Tuatha the Anu, who emigrated, who came from the region in South Europe, but they have also in Asia, like Caucasus, it's Turkey, this the region Turkey until Ukraine, maybe to Iraq, all this region like one region, before it's no because the empire. So yeah, so this is here we have this connection, and then we're gonna see here we have the Vikings. Here we go back to the Vikings. You You see how the Vikings from the beginning, from the Danish and Celtic people. You see here, and the Scandinavian how they spread. Like you have six in British people, Vikings DNA, and 10 in Swedish. So yeah, you see here, Vikings were not Scandinavians; they were from other places. And I know many will think, oh, like Phoenicians, that's Lebanese, and it's like you need to have understanding why Swedish like blonde and the Phoenician like darker in color and skin and hair. Of course, these elements that doesn't really matter. Talking about blood, DNA, and stuff. Talking about the color, color can differ. So here we're gonna see if this is so this man he wrote a book. So his father was a priest. So his evidence that Jesus was against the Judaic religion, he was like always rebelling against these teachings. And he means the word Jesus from the Aramaic Phoenician word Yaushu, talked about the Jesus of Egypt, uh, Ishu, Aishu. Here, Yaushu, very near because Yashu is Aishu. Aishu is the same one. May Yao saves Yao or Yam. So here Yao is not Yahweh. Very important to know the difference. Like if you say Yakub, that must not Yaushu, like Yakub, Yakub. You see, it is from Yam. Yam is the ocean, the water. Abzu, Tiamet, our mother. So Yam gives the Yaushu. The original word is Shu or Aishu with the letter Ain. Aishu also means live in Semitic language. Canaanite Phoenician god of water mentioned in the Ugarit tablets where they have this trinity El, Baal, and Asherah, and the Phoenician coastal cities. The other name given to Jesus is Amanuel, Emmanuel, which also Aramic Phoenician name, composed of two words, Imanu and El, Amma, Ammanu, Ammanu, Il, Ammanuel, which means God, El with us. El was considered by Canaanite Phoenician as the supreme God, father of all. El Elohim, Israel, Daniel, Samuel. You see, you got the El from the Ugarit. And then you got the Elohim from the Ugarit. And then you get the Ilu lima shabaktani, also from the Trinity of Ugarit. This is the father of Jesus Christ, El, Ilu. And we have Il also. Supreme God, the Father of all. Therefore, Jesus' name sheds more light on Phoenician origin than his Jewish origin. We have evidence Jesus was Phoenician. He followed the god El. He said to God, Elu, Elu. So Elu is the father god of the Trinity in Ugarit, Canaanite god. So they told that time they want to convince the Jews that Jesus Christ was their savior. So they went and said Jesus Christ was a Jew, but it didn't help. It didn't help. They didn't accept him. The Mashiach is often referred to Malik al Malik ha Mashiach. This means a king to be anointed king. Yeah. If Jesus was Phoenician, why have Christians believed him to be Jew for 2,000 years? So they tried to make Jews believe. So they lied. They said Jesus was a Jew just to lie, and now Jews got messed up real for they felt like if you are trying to steal their religion, and we're gonna make another religion from their religion, like Judaism become Christianity, because Jesus Christ he didn't help the Jews to have empire. So so they want to have an empire, and they said, "My kingdom is not here." So you're fighting, you want to fight, you want to kill the enemies, and go on like it's going on in Gaza and Beirut, Lebanon, Palestine, Israel, the Holy Land, Syria, Iraq, all this region. Always problems because they want to have the empire and the temple, and Jesus Christ said, "You don't need this thing." So they didn't believe. They think this thing the most important to have a temple and stuff like that. So you don't need to have a temple to pray. This is where the main difference. So they want to show Jesus as a Jew for a reason to convince the Jews. He's one of you. Why you cannot accept him as the savior? So they had this in Phoenicia. And they called him Adun, Adonai. You know the mythology. Adun is Adonis, son of El. So yeah, you know that people lie sometimes about the history. Here we have lecture Jesus. You see here Jesus Christ Phoenician. So we have a lot of stuff. Uh, so yeah, this is. I'm gonna show you some pictures here. We're gonna. so so yeah, who are the Hebrews? Who are the Habarians from Nibiru? Jesus Christ, Anunnaki. See the connection, people. So the Phoenician and the Hebrews. Both claim uh, both like they say Jesus is. We have like two Jesus, one a Hebrew Jesus, the Jewish Jesus, and the Phoenician Jesus. Comes like that. The Jesus, Mashiach, has not come yet. The Phoenician Jesus has come. But most people they believe they're waiting on the Jewish Mashiach, Jesus Christ, the Jewish Jesus Christ that has not come yet. They are waiting on him. But the Christians they believe in Jesus Christ, the Phoenician. You see the difference, people. So here, this is from yesterday. This one you'll see. This one and this one I will show you. This one and this is was yesterday, 5 p.m. You're gonna zoom out here. You see it here. So yeah, the war is they are bombing Beirut now, and they've been bombing and stuff. And Iran bombed, and then they said they're gonna revenge. Then they said it was nothing. They didn't lose any soldier. Not one single soldier was injured in the attack by Iran. And they took down most of the rockets, the missiles. Israeli said, and they didn't like they didn't feel anything like. And then they said we're gonna hit the nuclear facilities in Iran. And then they said, no, no, we're not gonna touch the facilities. We're just gonna hit the oil harbor and where the facilities containing oil in Iran. They're gonna hit them. And then when they said that, I saw all the money, the oil, catastrophe. Yeah, talking about if they hit the oil, it's the economy and yeah, these people they don't care. So you see here the clouds, people. This is shape edges. You see the dark and the shape edges. So yeah, they're gonna hit the oil or better they hit the nukes. So everything explode and we all die. Seriously, no, because if they hit the oil and the oil will go up and the prices will go up and yeah. So Iran can do that. They can control the Persian Gulf. They can shut Persian Gulf. But of course, they got the other ones, players in the region. They will not accept that. They're gonna go to war. So this is how it. So there's a movie called Broken Glasses, nuclear science fiction movie about a potential scenario. It was made in 1984, a war between Soviet Union and America, and it is how like it develops. It starts in the Persian Gulf when I remember it was like it was a revolution in Saudi Arabia, and it took over, and the Americans went there to fight because the Russians wanted to take the Saudi Arabia. They were fighting for the oil, and things went out of control, and started using nukes. So maybe this go like this. So here you see spaceship of God, Anu, King Anu, Father of Jesus Christ. You see here the tail and stuff. So yeah, so I've been doing this a long time. Well, showing spaceships and the UFO and Planet X and stuff like that, stuff spiritual even. Yeah, but talking about politics and wars and what's going on. So, but seriously, I never seen anything like this before. Very intense. This in the Holy Land, very intense wars. And talking about today, Phoenician, like Christian people, Jesus Christ was Phoenician, and the Phoenician discovered America, and they were influencing Europe and stuff like that. So the Phoenician, We talked about the Phoenician, we talked about the Anunnaki, talked about the Hebrews. So the Hebrews, the extraterrestrials, the Hebrews. Actually, the origin of the Hebrews, the extraterrestrials, Nibiru. Understand people are saying? So you say Hebrew, Hebrew. Hebrew is Nibiru. These are extraterrestrials people. So it's not about Nibiru. It's not about Hebrew, Israelite, Jews. It's about God. Kingdom of God is Nibiru. But you need the bloodline from the Nibiru. You have a Nibiru people. You see them, the devil was cast out from heaven from Nibiru. The devil is from Nibiru. So it's not about the region. They say here, talking about on earth, Jesus Christ from Dawood, from David, David. Dawoodiya in Arabic, in Hebrew. Dawoodiya, it's a region. It's not the name of a person. It's the name of a region. So Jesus Christ, he said, synagogue of Satan, the devil, anyone to claim to be from one region, that he is not from the region, that's the devil. He's lying. From about origin, it's not about David. We all from Adam, and David is from Adam. Yes or no? So why did Jesus say, I'm not from Adam? I'm from David. So Adam, he sinned and he died, but David also, he died. David, he was not a God. Stop worshiping humans. Worship God instead. Say, oh, this is David, the holy bloodline. David, Dawoodiya, check it out. It's a region, North Israel. Between Lebanon and Israel, there's the fighting now. It's called Dawoodiya. Jesus Christ is from Dawoodiya. Later become Yahudiya, maybe. They took out the D. We know that the G also is not anything to do with the Hebrew language. So-called Jewish. Judah and Judah. You see here? See the difference? Judah and Judah. Judah is real word, original. Judah is because they're English. So there's no Jews, there's Yehuda and Yehuda. Yah from Yam and Yehuda or Yahud from the Prophet Hud mentioned in the Holy Quran, and the connection to Abraham, and the Yah added to the Hud, Yahud, the people of the Prophet Hud. I don't know if they mentioned it in the Old Testament, it's mentioned in the Quran. So this is also his relative to Abraham. And Abraham was Sumerian, and Abraham, he was living like last priest in the Sumerian era before the Iranians, the Persians, they took down the Sumerians. They took down the Sumerians, and then we have they stayed the Iranians, Aryan Iranians, Persians. They worshipped Marduk a lot of time because he was king of Babylon. And Babylon, it was Persia, Iraq, and all this region in the Fertile Crescent. So here's spaceship of God. So yeah, so this was messed up. How everybody is from one, from Adam, and then all these wars and differences. So yeah, so Hebrews, extraterrestrials from Nibiru. Hebrew became later the Israelite and became later the Jews. That's why they are called the chosen. So you cannot have the chosen one without Nibiru, the kingdom of God. Nibiru, chosen. The chosen ones of Nibiru. We talked about this one. So that's why everybody, like, you want to fight the chosen ones of Nibiru, you're gonna get UFO ships. You're gonna get support from Nibiru. That's why we don't talk about this stuff. We rather not. See, so the Phoenicians are connected to Jesus Christ, regardless of what God they are worshiping today. But they have this bloodline from Jesus Christ, the Phoenicians, who are the ancestors of the Vikings. In some theories, they make a connection in the deep, how they moved in and stuff, DNA and stuff. You know, the Lebanese people, they have DNA of the Sumeri, of the Phoenicians, and this is for the Lebanese people. They are fighting now the Hebrews, the Nibirians. We have Jesus Christ also, that is Anunnaki, that he is Anunnaki. You see here, Lebanese people, DNA, Phoenicia. So you see here. Genetics. According to genetic studies performed on the Lebanese people, the Lebanese people share more than 90% of genetic making with the ancient Canaanites. You see, Canaanites. Phoenician. You see, ethnic culture foundation Lebanese people. Genetics. 3,700 years ago. You see here? 4,000 years. Ancient Canaanite. You see? The Near East is often described as the cradle of civilization. The Bronze Age Canaanites, later known as the Phoenicians, introduced many aspects of society. They created the first alphabet, established colonies through the Mediterranean, and were mentioned several times in the Bible. So, here you have it, people. So, you were watching this one. So, start watching here. It was yesterday. So, I had bad sound last video. It was terrible, but I was just share the pictures. Above the church, you see how it changed information? And there we have it here, the second of yesterday in the night, at night, above the building. See it? That's a new picture, I believe. This one, I don't know, about the building. And then here. See? You see the details inside the spaceship. So the reflection. Yeah, so this one you see the detail. So why I'm talking about this stuff now and the bloodline and this stuff. What does it matter? Because they are saying they are chosen and they are warring. They are having this war because they want to kill other races, the Amalekites, the racial war actually. Because see here above the city, spaceship of God, King Anu, the Most High. You cannot do this. This is real people. I wanted to believe, and then your life will change. Once you have believed, yes, you see, you cannot fake this. This is real people. Promise. You can check with the time and archive. So yeah, that was nice. You see this one also. That was yesterday. You see this here, the details. So you see here. The details. And here. And here. The colors. And here. You see here this one. So yeah, this is very nice to watch. Actually, once you've been watching this one, you want more all the time. You see this one? All praise to Most High King Anu, Creator of life, and yeah, this is another one, and this is here one, and then here another sighting. This is it. It goes up, up. Here you have it. See the details, the black, showing the engine and the interior, but it's changing all the time. That's what I'm saying. You see here how it's like you see here, as if it's like letters, like a letter L here, L for Elohim, like reverse. This is the inside engine, and this is the. I saw it live. I couldn't film it live, but you see here the details, the color. So no, not touch even, no added color. This was one nice. See, this one was nice as well. And this one. Yeah, so this one, yeah. So they believe the chosen. The Hebrews, the chosen, they don't know why they think they is holy. We talked about anti-Semitic. What is anti-Semitic? We explained the Semitic. The one who rebelled against Kronos, the Semitic, the the Titans, the one who had a war. Although Kronos was a leader by Nimrud, uh, the Olympians. This is Roman and Greek mythology. So the Semitic from the tradition, talking not always about the bloodline. You having tradition, you cannot determine the bloodline. But if you have this tradition of the Scandinavian people, of the Phoenician people, you see in traditions, you know that same people in the belief, in the way. It's not about the color. It's not about the color all the time, people. A blonde, you can sit in the sun, you can dark. It's not about the color of skin or color of hair. This stuff, people, you, you you can, that doesn't really matter the color. You're talking about other stuff. The bloodline, talking about bloodline, not colors. And we know the blue eye, pinky, is from the Sumerian because the Sumerian people they had these like representing gods, these statues and pictures with the blue eyes, and they had no blue eyes, and humans they didn't have blue eyes. The blue eyes, see, it's called the evil eye. This is from the evil eye, the Anunnaki evil eye, because the Anunnaki, the devil is came from Nibiru. So we have Nibiru, but he was cast out to earth with his angels. The devil, he was living on Nibiru. He was cast out. By whom? By God. By God. He came to us to earth. And now he's king of earth. And his name is Mordechai Marduk. If you say, uh, yeah, but that story is in the Bible. No, that story is original Sumerian. So another story from the Bible, from the Holy Quran, from the Holy Bible, from the Old Testament Bible is from the Sumerian. Why they are changing the story? Marduk was kicked out from Nibiru, and also Alalu, and he was buried on Mars. Alalu, he killed king on Nibiru. Alalu had a daughter. His daughter married Enki's son, Marduk. So true, I believe Marduk were married. Marduk married the daughter of Alalu, the former king of Nibiru, before King Anu, the Most High, uh, kicked Marduk, kicked Alalu out of Nibiru because he killed the king of Nibiru and he tried to steal the kingships and he stole the nuclear. It was later used against Sodom and Gomorrah by Enlil, son of Anu, brother of Enki. This one advanced. This was real advanced actually. You see, people, this is spaceship of King Anu from yesterday. See that one? CNN, Fox News, Where are you at? You don't cover this stuff. You don't know what's going on. So yeah. So thank you, YouTube, for allowing me to share this very important news for humanity, for all people. They have the luck to see this. They're gonna go tell their family, their loved one, spaceship of God, Father of Jesus Christ, Uranus, is seen, and pictures have been taken, and videos been taken, and this knowledge need to go to everyone who believe in God and talk about God, whether Jewish, Muslim, Christian, any other religion. If you are talking about God, you want to debate God, you want to discuss God, you need to take a look here in my channel and see what I'm showing. Then you can decide if I am talking truth or I'm just fooling you. It's up to you and your knowledge and your experience. Don't let other people tell you what to believe. I'm telling you, people, I'm not losing my time doing this. I'm doing this. This is the best I can do, the best I ever done. Any work involving about God, Anu, is the most important work for me, most priority for me. Understand? I live for this thing. So this is spaceship of God, Anu, here above this construction. Yesterday, so yeah, we talked about Jesus, Phoenician. We talked about Phoenician connection to the Vikings. We talked about the Vikings. We talked about the Phoenicians discovering America. We talked about the Hebrews, Abraham, Ainu people. See here this one. Here is a lot of data. See this one? Send this one. Here it's changed. From this total different. This is also this one. Here it's going up, up, up. See, this is Beirut. They are bombing Beirut. And you're gonna check little later on. So here we have, this is also a picture, a view eastern side of Israel border. With Lebanon, you see the rocket, the missiles. It went down. You see here the one missile. I don't know, it's missile or UFO. I don't know what it is. And the missiles. You see here the UFO. This is a UFO because it has a shadow. Because this is from another dimension. See this three against from Lebanon to Israel, and here it explodes. And the other, this is from today. So they are shooting missiles against each other. We're gonna check the news a little bit. We're gonna watch a little bit, and we're gonna finish. That was a lot of information, but hopefully you can watch yourself and have a deeper knowledge about all this stuff. Please read the thread Abraham about his ancestors. Read the connection between the Vikings and the Russians and the Danish people. Read about the Phoenician discovering America. Read about the connection between the Phoenician and Jesus Christ. All this stuff is very important, especially nowadays when we are dealing with extra ordinary events, when we have all these wars ongoing and this fighting. So we're gonna do, we're gonna fight more, maybe, and We're gonna watch here. I'm gonna check if we're gonna get some footage. See if you have. I have some footage here. Maybe I didn't share. So here it is. Maybe this one. So, so yeah, that was all people. Dressing.